Hey, what is up everybody? It's ZXRyuu, and today I am trying something a little bit different, just to kind of capture my progress on how I'm going on this game. So this is kind of what I was talking about before with the new game that I wanted to start learning how to speedrun. So yeah, so anyway, we're gonna do Final Fantasy III. And I guess just to kind of get some housekeeping stuff out of the way, this is all run on an emulator on my computer so that I can do save states and other things to kind of practice the game. So yeah, anyway, so this is the next project that I want to start working on for speedrunning. This is a really long game. It's really involved. There's a ton of stuff that goes into it. So I think I've covered about the first 20-ish minutes of the game with my practice and progress and everything. So so we're gonna see how this goes. But anyway, I'm using a real controller just so I can kind of get used to that as well. So I've got my Retrode hooked up to my computer so that I can do the correct inputs and everything for practicing on a real controller and everything. And also too, kind of just while the intro thing is running here, I wanted to give some backstory, I guess, on just on why I wanted to run this game, and also what I'm doing to run this game, I guess, because this is something that's new to me, is doing stuff with emulators to practice speedruns. I never really thought that that would be a thing, but anyway, so I guess just a little bit of backstory here. So Final Fantasy 6 or 3, I guess, is what we got in the US. Then they went back and rejiggered the numbers a little bit later on to make it 6. But this is originally 3 because I'm going to do the Super Nintendo version because it has almost no load times, and I don't know, it's just, I think it's the version to speedrun if you're going to speedrun this game. So so anyway, I've got I'm using an emulator called OpenEmu for the Macintosh, because I use my emulator box as a Macintosh. That's just what I had sitting around for me to use to get all this stuff set up, so I'm using that. I'm using the Retrode 2 so I can hook up my controller to my computer and have the correct inputs and everything. So because I didn't want to get used to using keyboard or, you know, a PS2 controller, this kind of thing. I wanted to be kind of as authentic as I could be while I was practicing. So one thing too about the stream picture is that I'm not using scan lines. Since this is emulated, I wanted to kind of differentiate which games of mine were on console and which ones were on emulator. So I don't have any scan lines set up on this. When I do a real run, I'll put scan lines in it so that you know that this is like the official authentic run or whatever. But anyway, that's just kind of a side note, just so you can see kind of a difference when you look at the video as to what's emulated and what's not, because I think I think there should be a differentiation, at least for me, so that when you guys watch it, you know whether or not I'm emulating something, because there's a couple of other games that I thought of that actually don't work on my setup. Like, one of them is the Page Master game. I wanted to play that at one point, but it does not work on the FrameMeister because all the bonus levels run in some weird 480i mode, and the FrameMeister does not like it for some reason, so it freaks out. So if I'm going to play that game, I was probably going to play it on an emulator instead, but I did want to kind of make that differentiation in the stream when you're watching it. So the other thing about this run that I'm going to kind of do, or I have already set up ahead of time because it takes 20-ish minutes to set this up ahead of time, is the seed manipulation for the run. So you have to make a save file, and you have to kind of walk around on the world map and get encounters and some other stuff in order to set up what seed you're going to get, so that you can use a step route when you're going through here, so that way all the battles and encounters and everything are all mapped out, and you know what to do with them, how to interact with them, and what to do and not to do, I guess, when it comes to this, because there's just there's some situations, especially later in the game, where you can get yourself in major trouble if you don't have like a specific route or something you've already planned for. So because you don't gain a huge amount of levels throughout this run, so by the time you get to the end, your amount of party or just the like characters in your party and stuff, depending on what category you do, is pretty low, and your level's pretty low too, so you need to kind of know how to deal with certain things. So so that's that. So anyway, I decided to speedrun this game because it's one of my favorites in the series, and I've just been wanting to go back and play it again, and I just thought, hey, this would be a good way to go back and play it again in a little bit different way. So so anyway, yeah, I'm going to try and run through the first about 20 minutes of this game, I guess, and I'm going to attempt to do it from memory so that I can start practicing, because this speedrun is really long, it's really involved, and I just want to kind of get to a point where I can start memorizing some of the routes. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and load my save state. I have a save state inside of the emulator that's already got the seed manipulation set up, and it's just ready to be like started on new game pretty much. So so we don't have to go through all of that mess again. So anyway, okay, so that's the save state. So I'm going to get my timer all ready here, and I'm hoping to be done with this in about 20 minutes. So we'll see how this goes. So anyway, and hopefully my emulator doesn't crash, because sometimes my controller freaks out on it. So anyway, we'll see what happens. So 3, 2, 1, go. So again, this is just for practice. If I get into battles that I don't intend to or whatever, that's just kind of be what's going to happen, since this is really, really new to me. So what I'm doing here by running is I'm setting up a, I'm filling kind of a hidden run meter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cause Vix and Wedge, or Biggs and Wedge, I guess, to run away so that our mysterious main character gets all of the experience points. So, so anyway, there's that. So there's an encounter tile there that I'm going to walk around. I did that really slowly because for whatever reason my movement right there is still really weird, and so I sometimes will miss the I'll sometimes miss the trigger, and or I guess hit the trigger. So just to make sure that the meter is full, I'm still kind of continuing to have them run away here. Okay, so then once Terra does Bioblast and gets rid of the enemy, then Vix and Wedge should be able to run away from this fight. Yep, and then she gets the experience for that. So one thing about the step route, I guess, is that inside of towns, except for a couple of situations, the step route isn't as important. But when you get to places like the world map and places that normally have encounters rather than like set stuff, sorry, I'm like trying to think through what I'm doing here. And I need to be filling up this run meter a lot sooner. Oh, darn it. Well, that's wrong. Filled up the meter incorrectly. Oh well. This is why this is practice. So I did that all out of order, and I held it too long, so. So I mean, how that fight is really supposed to go is that Vix and Wedge get rid of the two beasts in front, and then you have Terra Bioblast the two guards in the back, and then Vix and Wedge run away. So, but anyway, when there's like random encounters, then the step route is more important, because then you'll start finding enemies exactly where they're supposed to be on the step route, and you can kind of map out everything that you're supposed to do with each of those encounters. So the speed run for this game is pretty involved and pretty complicated. So I'm just trying to do this from memory this time, just to see if I can start getting some of this practice in, but anyway. Okay, so let's see if we can get the Welk quick kill. Okay, so we're going to wait. We're going to do Tech Missile, and I forgot to set the cursor. Forgot to do the menuing. You're supposed to do the menuing first. Yep, I missed it horribly. So we're going to have to wait. This is why the first thing you need to do is you need to go into the menu and set a bunch of the options, and I did not do that, so I'm sorry, speedrunners. I've already failed this run. Also sorry about the chat not being up either. I just loaded the chat, so... So what I may do is actually after I get through this first part of Narshe, I may actually like reset and try this again so I can do the do the actual stuff that I'm supposed to be doing here before we move on. Okay, so that was pretty terrible. So let's go ahead and stop the timer here, and we will reload the save state. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. First thing we want to do here is we want to go into config. We want to do battle speed fast, message speed slow. And then we want to do cursor is on memory. Okay, so now we're good to go. Ah, nope. Stop, reset. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. This runaway trick is actually, I think, kind of tricky, so. I'm also just like so ready to like get started with the run or whatever that I forget about the menuing that I need to do at the beginning. So anyway. Okay, there we go. let's miss the encounter tile. Okay, there we go. Actually, what I want to do here is I want to... So all told in the speed run, the run when it gets all finished is a good time is like 5.5 hours. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of time before I'm anywhere near being able to do stuff like that. So. Okay, let's try this again. So, tech missile, heal force. Okay, we need to wait. Tech missile again. And we need to fire beam. So that the thing retaliates. Tech missile again. Oh, what? Am I missing something in there? Okay, well, anyway, I think I still got it, so the thing didn't retreat. That's just weird. I thought it was one tech missile, heal force, another tech missile, fire beam, and then a third one. So, I don't know. That was weird. Whatever. Okay. So, and also because of the sprite limitations in this game, and also just like the language limitations as well in the English version, the a lot of the items and a lot of the what's called Esper names, or I guess in the original Japanese, kind of rough translation of what they are is like mythical beasts. So they're like called Genju, I think is what the original Japanese is. So, but anyway, it's kind of like mythical beast, I guess, is kind of a rough translation. So, so anyway, there's a lot of the mythical beast names are like shortened or changed up a little bit. So it's just because of a limitation at the time. I think a lot of people were pretty okay with the retranslation of the Game Boy Advance version of this game. The thing that they didn't like though is the music is horrible sounding. It's just really rough. So anyway, it's just not as good. So we rename her to T just to save time on the text boxes. So yeah. So anyway, if there are ROM hacks to bring back the original music for the Final Fantasy VI version, or the Game Boy Advance version. I'm sorry, of Final Fantasy VI. But there's some other changes in there that change up the way how the game works and some other things. So it's just not as it's just, I don't know. I think Final Fantasy III on the Super Nintendo is just kind of the way that you want to run this, especially since a lot of the categories and stuff are based off of that version specifically, because the categories in this game, you have like any percent okay, you have any percent glitchless, any percent or 100% glitchless, and then you have like 100% or any percent no sketch. So anyway, I'm walking kind of slow because I'm trying to make sure that I stay on the step route. So, and the reason why you want cursor on memory is because then you know exactly where the cursor is, and you can move around the menus a lot quicker. So. So we use fire here to get rid of these enemies. Okay, and then we kind of. Oops. Supposed to be right to do fire on all enemies, and I missed the input. So I'll have to wait and do it again. So if you do like L or R, it changes from a single target to all targets. So anyway. I think I actually got that encounter in a slightly different place than I should have. I think I should have been one block up before I start moving over, because then you'll be like back over to the left and you can just walk up in order to finish. So. So anyway, so we turn the battle speed down so that we can do more things in combat for each encounter, so we have more time to do certain things to get things set up, like the Welk quick kill kind of thing. And then we turn the message speed up to as fast as possible, just so that we can skip past text boxes quickly. So. And then, you know, just like I said before, put the cursor on memory so that we can just go back to it and not have to navigate to it every single time. Now we get to meet Locke. Treasure hunter, yeah. So there's kind of a weird, I'm not sure if it's a glitch or what it is, but there's a thing coming up here that I'm going to do to kind of skate past some of these enemies if I do it right. So, and it's pretty precise how you have to do this, so hopefully I can get it. If not, I have a save state here that I can reload to try this again. Okay, I missed it. I rushed it too much. I got the first part of it, but I just rushed too much, so. So that's gonna waste some time. But I have to do it again, so. There we go. So then we take off the items off of Mog, and then we go back to fight. Oh, ouch. I think I did this slightly out of order with the who was supposed to be attacking who here. Okay, so that's that. So then with the Moogle's help, we escape. Yeah, they remind you about the secret entrance because when you're playing through the game casually, they're like, hey, you might have to come back here. So, anyway, keep this in mind. Okay, so this is probably the part of the step route that I still have not completely gotten down on what you're supposed to do. So, so we'll see what happens here. I think I might actually be off of it. Well, I was almost there, but anyway, so time. So that's pretty much where I've gotten up to for practice in this game. So that went decently, I guess. So anyway, yeah. So there's just kind of a little bit of insight into what I'm doing next, and hopefully I will be able to kind of work on this some more, and just kind of show some more progress as things go on here. But anyway, so that's the first part of Final Fantasy III on what I've been practicing. So hope you guys enjoy this this series. This will be ongoing for quite a while, I'm sure. So it'll just be a video every once in a while. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching the video. Thanks to those who have subscribed on both YouTube and Twitch recently. That's awesome. So I put kind of the goals of what I'm trying to do on each of those, or just the numbers, I guess, not necessarily the specific goals, but the reason why, I guess I should explain this really quick. The reason why I'm trying to get 100 subscribers on YouTube is that I'd like to be able to use my own URL, and you have to have 100 subscribers on that in order to do that. So, I mean, I wanted to get 100 subscribers so that I can make it easier for people to find my channel. So that was what the 100 subscriber goal was for. And then the Twitch goal was, I'm hoping if I can kind of get the right number of followers on Twitch here and get kind of an audience built up, I guess is what they call it, that I can give some other options for like quality, for bandwidth and this kind of thing. So I'd just like to be able to do that in the future so that you guys can watch the video in, you know, if you have bad internet like I do, you can watch it in a lower quality, or if you have good internet, you can watch it in a higher quality. So, I mean, I want to give you guys that option. So that's why I'm trying to build up more viewers and subscribers on Twitch so that I can start working on that. So, but I also wanted to just make it so that the YouTube channel can be found a little bit easier. So that's what the 100 subscriber goal is for. But anyway, if you feel like you want to subscribe because you like the content, you like the channel, that's awesome. But don't feel like you have to. These are just things that I've set to kind of push myself to do better. So so yeah, so that's pretty much it. So anyway, thanks guys for watching the video, and we'll catch you guys later. See ya.